Hello everyone, it's Dawn Michelle. Time for our Finding Your Light Devo for this week. I hope everybody's having a great week. It's been one of those whirlwind days so far, so I'm getting started a little bit later than I should be, but it's going to be okay. Better late than never, right? So I hope that everybody really enjoyed last week's Devo. I know I did, and we're on the same theme. This is going to be part 2 of the Finding More Joy in Life series of our Devos. And last week we talked about helping others, which was going to be the first that I listed my 3 steps towards finding more joy in life, which I apologize if it sounds like a self-help book or whatever, but we are all kind of needing to be looking ways to find ways to help ourselves find more joy in life, because it seems like a lot of times it can be really lacking, and we get overwhelmed with negativity, and sometimes we start feeling depressed and hopelessness, all these things, and sometimes life is just throwing a lot of stuff at us, and we got to find ways to cope positively, because the more we just kind of spiral downward, it doesn't really help us or help anybody else, and at the end of the day we just feel empty, and that just keeps that cycle of going down, 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 and nobody wants to feel that way. Even if life is not going great, we definitely don't want to be feeling hopeless about it. So, hello everybody who's tuning in. Make sure to leave a comment so I can read them after we're done. I love to see the notes from everybody at the end. So, this whole series is all about finding more joy in the life that you have. And I have 3 tips to finding more joy in life. Like I said, the first one we talked about last week was helping others. And today we're going to talk about another one. All 3, they're helping others, learning something, and creating something. And these are the steps that I recommend you take every week. You should do this on a weekly basis, at least. And if you will do these things, you will find yourself finding more joy in your life, regardless of what your circumstances are. Because these are things that you can do, that you can control, and that you can take an active role to do your best. And like I keep saying, if you do your best, there's grace for the rest. And in our case, our best is figuring out what are the steps that we can take to improve our situation, even if there are a lot of things that are out of control in our situation. So today we're going to be learning about the step of learning, which sounds, I'm sure, super boring to a lot of people. And just like a lot of boring topics, there seem to be a million Bible verses for it. And then sometimes we're really stressed out about one topic and you can't seem to find a Bible verse that fits. But this one, there are tons of verses to support today's lesson, which talks about every week taking some time to learn something. So I had many to choose from, but I'm going to share 2. Typically I just choose one, but that just shows you how many Bible verses there are about this. But one from Ecclesiastes that says, it's Ecclesiastes 7:12. Says, the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Preserves the life of him who has it. That sounds good. I need more life in my life and less death, that's for sure. And then Proverbs 18:15 says, an intelligent heart acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. I want to have an intelligent heart. And so here we're talking about wisdom and how it preserves your life. And then we're also talking about an intelligent heart, IQ. Everybody hears so much about intelligence these days, and about how the ear of the wise seeks out knowledge. So these are a couple of scriptures of many to choose from that talk about how important it is to gain knowledge. And I use that as a basis for feeling like every week of your life, it's really important for you to find a way to learn something. And you can learn anything, really. You can learn how crayons are made. I used to love that episode of Mr. Rogers. Or you can learn, how to acquire a new skill. All these kinds of things. These are things that are going to be bringing in new life into your life and to open up new roads and pathways in your mind. And I really recommend looking at your life and figuring out, what could I benefit most from learning? Maybe you've got some super big problems and they're giving you a lot of trouble. Well, hey, there's a great opportunity to start your learning. Maybe you're super in debt. Well, read a book about debt. Maybe you've got a lot of emotional trauma and you're struggling with it every day. Well, learn about it. I know a huge impact in my life was made when I started learning more about my emotional intelligence and learning about the things that had shaped me and made me who I am. All the counseling that I went to, this was a great opportunity for me to learn. There was a book that I did in counseling, and it's called Making Peace with Your Past by Tim Sledge, and it's a workbook. And that learning from that book changed my life in so many ways. And I basically am just a big puddle of all the things that I've learned from different books, from the Bible, from people, throughout my life. And everything I have is just a sum of everything that I've learned, all my lessons. And so if we're not actively seeking out ways to learn every week, I think we're cutting ourselves short. We're not going to have our life protected like we would if we were always out there getting wisdom. If our ear is not seeking out knowledge, it's not a wise ear anymore. And it can be really tempting, especially in our culture, to just seek out entertainment. And that's where we put most of our effort. I was driving down the road the other day and I was like, gosh, it's most of my life spent seeking out entertainment, thinking about, what's the next thing that's going to take my mind off of my problems. And I think that's really can be a lot of it sometimes. I know that we're so busy and we're bogged down, and it can be really easy just to be looking for some relief and some distraction. And I do think it's great to find relief and relax and find distraction. But if that's all that we're doing, we're definitely not learning anything new, and our lives are going to show it. And we need the fresh things that we learn, whether it's, taking a class in any kind of skill or anything like that, to be keeping our brain going. And I think studies show that as our brains become less active as we age, that's when we start to develop more diseases that are brain related. They say like losing your memory, things like that. You can fight that stuff by learning new things. And they say stay active, but lately the studies are showing it's not just staying active. You have to do something new. You have to make yourself learn something new. And if you'll do that, you'll keep your brain young. And I want my brain to stay young for as long as possible, because they say you're only as old as you feel. And I think that we kind of ignore, like after we get out of school, at least we're like, yes, I don't have to learn anything ever again. And it seems like this great, awesome thing, but I don't think we're doing ourselves any favors. So for the second step of learning, I want to challenge you this week, find something to learn about. If you're trying to figure it out, want to learn something that's going to really make a big difference, pick a problem that you have in your life and find a book or find a teacher or a mentor and start learning how to grow and just learn more about the problem. It's just like G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle, and sometimes it is. So the more you learn about what you're dealing with, the easier it is going to be for you to process it and to be able to make progress. I believe that 100%, no doubt in my mind. So find some opportunities to learn this week, and you should also be looking for opportunities to help others like we learned about last week. And next week we'll be learning about the third step and the 3 steps of finding more joy in daily living. And I believe that if we do these 3 steps every week, we will find that we like our life a whole lot more, and we'll start bringing more life into our lives and into the lives of people around us. And I think that's the true secret to joy, because God gave us our love to give to others. So thank you guys so much for listening in. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for leaving a comment. Everybody leave a comment if you can. And stay tuned. We got some cool stuff coming up next Tuesday evening. I'm going to be making more announcements about that soon. With a cool group of people at New Release today. And so stay tuned to my page for that information. You'll be finding out more. Hi, Dina. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys have a great day, a great end of your week, and a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. Take care.